So now let's get into this course where I'm going to talk to you about some of the basic fundamental courses. So if you have not watched my previous video where you wanted to learn some of the basic fundamentals, if you're non-IT, then go back to the link where it says IT fundamentals, or the link below. So assuming that you have taken the course or you have some basic idea, and the next course out of this, usually A plus and Network plus. The one I was referring was ITF, IT Foundation. And the reason I like is that instead of telling you go and learn individual pieces of technologies, this very structured way they have put it here. So if you're an experienced ID, you can figure it out yourself, you will find it. If you are new to IT and you want to pursue your career, that's one way of doing it, because A plus pretty much covers a lot of areas which I'm gonna show you on the screen and talk more details. You're gonna learn about hardware, the networking, mobile devices. As you can see, operating system is very critical as well. So it's kind of give you a pretty good structured syllabus. You may not need to go into the certification or not. We can talk it later in some different video, but my idea to explain you here what's in it for you, basically, right? So there are a ton of courses available, and if you want to start your career in cloud computing, if you want to start your career in IT, right? So these courses are there, but how would you know, I mean, what you're gonna learn, what you're gonna get out of it? And that's the point I'm making this video, to make you understand um, what is covered in each and every courses and how it's going to help you, right? So for example, hardware, network, virtualization, software security, and all that stuff. So basically in this course, you're pretty much gonna learn all these areas, and there are two exams, so I'm not gonna go to the details for the exam, and I'm suggesting you to take these courses, and then you can take a more experienced level of courses going forward. So this is still part of fundamental courses once you do ITF and then A plus Network plus. So this is you will learn, for example, you're going to learn how to install and configure a laptop and components like drivers and all that stuff, right? When you set up a new laptop, how do you do that, installing the software, drivers, and all that. How to connect and configure mobile devices, like basic configuration of the mobile devices, right? How to set up those devices, how to set up a internet or wireless connection on those mobile devices, and how does the mobile devices work when it comes to configure, for example, email, like with Google account and some other business account. So those on a high level, this will be covering. In networking, you're going to learn about TCP and UDP ports. Basically, these are the protocols, SMTP, HTTP, HTTPS, and all that. So that's very fundamental. You must need to know. And some basic idea about how to install Wi-Fi connection. So every one of us use Wi-Fi at home, but how do you set it up? So that's another important piece you need to learn, and do the hands-on on that, and then compare different wireless protocols and wireless security. Those are the areas are covered. And then when you come to the hardware, well, honestly, there's not much hardware in the job market because everything is a cloud. But again, on the safe side, you need to know some of the basic type of hardware. Nobody's going to tell you, let's say, putting a hard drive, but still, you got to know how to set up the device driver and all that stuff, and those kind of area, and getting to know some USB cable versus network cable, let's say, because this is still a fundamental course, like which cable goes where, how you connect your printer through a USB cable, those are the basic stuff. So it's not super, it's pretty super simple. You can just learn it by playing it around, and even you can do the hands-on at your home. You don't have to have like a specialized thing for that. And then there is also area covered, for example, operational procedure, virtualization. Yeah, virtualization, I was going to cover some of the type of the virtual environment, and delivery model, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. What are those? What are the delivery model, private versus hybrid cloud, and all that. And also in the networking and hardware troubleshooting, there are how do you trouble different network? What are the RAM and power and more those stuffs are there in the exam, but also in the syllabus. And operating system, you're gonna learn to use the features into the Mac OS versus the like a Linux client, and desktop operating system, which is Microsoft Windows 7 and 10. Along those lines, different flavors of Mac OS that you need to learn how the different file system in those environment. And you should also know how to install it, because that's an important piece for you. But yeah, it's more of a hands-on if you wanted to do. And also when it comes to security, right? So you need to learn if there are any vulnerabilities or system upgrade and system patch management, how to install those security softwares. Same thing on the mobile devices. In today's world, it's pretty simple, but you just need to read the impact and what has been fixed and all that. So that's one of those areas you need to concern why these patches are, and why do you need to update those patches. Sometimes they are based on different priorities, low, medium, high, and all depends. When it comes to software troubleshooting, basically you should be able to troubleshoot the software, troubleshoot the network. For example, internet is not working, so how are you going to troubleshoot that? How are you going to collect those information for that particular piece? What if the printer is not working? What's your thought process? What's your approach? How are you going to analyze and collect information to fix those issues? That's pretty much, I mean, there is, it all depend. If you have your interest, you can develop it and learn it pretty quick, as long as you're planning to put good enough time and effort. And your job could be with this, let's say, you could be help desk technician, technical support, field technician, help desk, IT support. So this is a start. But again, this will give you a jump start or career start in IT and cloud, for example. But being into that area, and once you start getting some experience, then you can literally plan your career all the way to IT architect, cloud engineer. But these are the basic skills you must need to know, because you also need to have some job experience. And then you can start building your journey toward the next level of, let's say, engineer, depending, maybe after 6 months, maybe in next year, depending how much you learn in your job. So that's I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you like it. If you have any question, let me know in the comments, and I'll be putting more videos. Thank you and bye.